Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm here today to do a review of Nisekoi, episode 14. Now, it finally told us who the promise was made with, who Raku made the promise with. It wasn't Chitoge and it wasn't Onodera. And basically, this is just what she says, so it's not 100% proven fact. But Raku's father also said that this was the girl that she had made a promise with, and then it was his fiance. But he needed to entertain her because if he made the dude mad, then it would be bad for his gang, basically. So what happens is he goes to school the next day after talking to his father, and this girl pops up as a transfer student. He knew he was supposed to meet her today, but he didn't know that she was actually going to be a transfer student transferring into a school to where they would see each other every day. No, basically what happened is she made a big scene. As soon as she came through, she saw Raku and then jumped and wrapped her arms around her, like wrapped her arms around him like she had missed him for a while, and she was calling him Master Raku. So that shows that she has a high amount of respect for Raku. And basically, Jitoge and her got into a little argument because it was announced that in the middle of the classroom that she was his fiance, and then Raku and Jitoge told him that they were together as a couple. And then all of a sudden, they were about to get into a fight, and the police squadron rushed in and surrounded Raku and Muraka. And this is when you find out that Muraka's father is a police commission chief, or that's close to the title. I'm not sure that's completely right. It's the police commission chief, but basically she's the head of the police, and so now Raku's in like a three-way decision. He likes Onodera mainly, but Chitoge is on. There's a whole gang related thing with Chitoge. If you don't date Chitoge, they're gonna fight. And then if you don't date Muraka, then the police are gonna fight with his gang. So it's basically another war that's gonna start if some shit happens. So it's an interesting way to do harem based anime. It's not. This is like the first harem anime that I haven't seen that I've seen that isn't really ecchi, because there hasn't really been any ecchi stuff in this one. But basically they proceed to go to the nurse's office because she said she was sick, and took Raku's hand and led him into the nurse's office, and they started, I guess you could say, funneling around in there. But then when they opened the door, they found Raku on top of Muraka, and everybody was shocked. But anyway, after that, Raku and Muraka decided. I mean, Muraka basically got Raku to go on a date with him, or if he wouldn't, then he was going to tell her father about what happened. And then that would start the big gang versus police war, and he didn't want that to happen, so he went out on a date with her, and literally everybody followed him. You got Chitoge dressed up in disguise following him. Chitoge's whatever her face is, her bodyguard basically, dressing up like an actual girl for once, followed him. And everybody thinks she's like a superstar or something. And you got Onodera and Onodera's best friend following him as well. And like the whole time they're just following around on a date. And at the very end of the day, you got Chitoge hiding in the bushes, basically eavesdropping on their conversation, and he's basically telling them that she knows everything that happened about the promise 10 years ago and all that. And then she calls out Chitoge for eavesdropping right behind him. After she makes the clause that she would tell Raku everything as long as he would break up with Chitoge, and Raku straight denies that. He said it ain't happening. And then as soon as Chitoge comes up, she pops up and says, "I'm the one who made the promise with Raku 10 years ago. I'm that girl." So that's her thoughts on it. We're not sure that's 100% true. She has a key as well. She has the photo from 10 years ago. Honestly, she has more things going for her, so most likely she is the girl that the promise was made to. But Raku can't seem to remember till the very end when she starts basically bitching at Raku, and he's like, "That accent, could you be Maria?" So basically, maybe he didn't call her Maraka, and that might be, I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry, and that might be her actual name Maraka, but he called her like a nickname like Marie, and that's why he couldn't remember. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. in the next episode now that it left off with Raku about to remember her, if that actually is who it is, who he says it is. So overall, the plot progression. The plot progressed, alright, it didn't progress forward, it widened this progression. So, like, you would have to get progression with all the girls, but widened this ability to progress from several different angles. The character progression, we got a whole lot of progression with Morocco. We got to see everything about her, what her parent is, an overprotective police commissioner, and we got to see basically her father made the promise of that dude to bring in her for Raku, and overall this episode had good plot progression, good character progression, and I really just didn't see anything wrong with this episode except for maybe the date was really wasn't much of a date seeing as everybody was following and they really didn't do much during the date. So overall, I'd probably have to give this episode a 9 out of 10. And that's my opinion on it, guys. Peace.